All righty. All praises to our Father, to our Elohim, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, our earthly mother, our heavenly mother, wisdom, and our brother, Yahweh Shai, who without them there is no order within us. Without them there is no nation for us. I pray that this word edifies and brings forth resolute thought and conversation with wisdom over inner and understanding. All praises, all praises. So, where to begin? This here world that is and has been ruled by a particular people who claim many claims, not only to a heritage, but to a land, to the sea, to the air, is falling victim with a lot of despair. And now, for some reason, they think that we should really care. It's funny how that all works. Because where I sit, I don't. And that's not to be mean. That's not to be rude. And see, some people think that because I don't care, I'm just going to use me, because I don't care, that I have no empathy, that I have no sympathy. And I do have empathy, and I do have sympathy for the world, for the earth, for the air, for the water, for the righteous upon this earth under the rule of the unrighteous. The difference between what I say, or I believe, or I read and we say and we believe is, or the difference to the nations, the Christians in particular, is a couple things. And even the difference between the groups. Some people say, well, there's no groups. Listen, everybody, there's always groups. There's varying variances of groups. That's what makes up a nation. All the individuals make up the groups make up the nations. The differences, especially amongst, I'll start with our folks, our brethren and sisters, is that, and I'm going to use myself, is that I believe in the northern and southern kingdoms. I, based on due diligence and reading, have a fundamental understanding that there are two kingdoms. Those two kingdoms have been split, aka northern and southern kingdoms. Now, in the regathering of the whole house therein of Israel, those two kingdoms come together to create the kingdom to come. This is why we've been split up, and this is why they say lost tribes, and this is why they try to splinter us, because they know, the world knows, the energy knows, the earth knows, when we come together as the northern and southern kingdom, the two sticks, that brings the kingdom to come. It's really quite simple in that regard. But people differ in the fact that it's the where. It's the where, or where's Waldo, right? Where's the northern kingdom? Some people, especially the Afrocentric people within our group, the macro group, believes that the northern kingdom was and is still in what they call Africa. And then the other of the group, a smaller group, a remnant of that group, believes that that the Northern Kingdom, of course, is in the Americas. Now, I've dwelled on that many a time, and I'm not going to dwell on that anymore, or right now. Also, the difference is that we use Yahweh Shai, and others use Jesus. Some use Yahuwah, yada, yada. Okay? As long as we understand not to use Caesar Borgia, I think that that's fine. But the difference of it is when we use Yahweh Shai, that puts him in the light of our brother. And we follow his way. We follow his light. We follow his laws. Because he and the Father are one. He, the Father, and the Mother are one. They're not one meaning the same, just one on one accord, one way. And we follow that way. Whereas some would rather follow him and not his ways, which then makes them idolaters. And that's a differ. And when we bring this up to people, they seem to their countenance becomes flustered. Their countenance becomes full of anger. And they actually become very hateful in their heart. Their spirit shows. It's on their face. It's in their eyes. Because when you break or you question the idolatry of an individual, it brings out something in them. And we know what it brings out. It brings out that evil in them. Okay? That wickedness in them. Because idolatry is the number one wickedness. And our people are full of that. No matter what it is. Okay? And we differ in how we've arrived at this place. Some think that we came, via, the Titanic, the slave ships, that we came, that the white man brought us here. And others say that we were already here. Some differ in the fact that some say we're still only 15% of the population, where some of us say that we're over 50. Some don't understand covetousness, and some do. And these are some of the differences as to why we do what we do. We fight hard, tooth and nail, to maintain our disposition within our walk. We strive hard to walk upright with righteousness on our minds. And yes, we do try to treat people the way they want to be treated. Not the way we want to treat them. I think that's another transliteration, lost in transliteration of the fallible words written in the English tongue, put over our original divine word of Hebrew. Because if I treat you the way you want to be treated, then that would say how you act. So if you are rude, then that only means that you would be rude. See, and some people say, well, that's an eye for an eye. That's life. I mean, that's life anywhere. If you treat someone rudely, then you should only expect to be treated rudely back. Now, they say treat people the way you want to be treated. Well, if I don't want to be treated rudely, yet you treat me rudely, who's losing in that? if you want to fight and I don't want to fight, and yet you fight, we fight, who's losing in that? Give or take some here and there. And this is why we have to continue to stand up. You know, the rest is parade rest for all those that understand that. The rest is parade rest. It's not sitting down in your hammock and your lazy boy, resting. No. This is parade rest. Why? Because we always have to be on guard. Why? Because the world was given into the hands of the wicked. And as such, we have to be on guard when we're dealing with the righteous. When we're dealing righteously. We got, it used to be where we were going against a lot of Edomites on social media. And they come out of the droves talking about yik yak and foo, talking about who we are to them. Okay? Treating us the way they want to be treated. Okay? Because they want to tell us who we are. Instead of listening and understanding who we tell them we are. But that was nipped in the bud. They were brought low. And they were gone. Then it came to some so-called black preachers who would come out and go against the camps and, oversimplify things and make it's all everybody, all black Hebrew Israelites. Not even understanding that they're condemning themselves. Maybe not. They might not even be us, But they would come against us and they got brought down. They got brought down low, okay? They got humbled. Now, okay, so we fought back the Edomites. We fought back the Christian Negro. Now we're going against the Christian woman, Negro, who loves their Jesus with all their heart, mind, body, and soul. When that's not what Yahushua told them to do. He said, love the Father, the prime creator, with all your heart, mind, body, and soul. And treat people the way they want to be treated. And everything else hinges on that. Everything else. But the anger that we're getting when you go against, when we go against a woman's idol is great. And I think that we do a great job of respect, especially with our people. I feel that we have patience with our people, more so than we've ever had. And I'm seeing the difference in how that looks and how that operates. I'm seeing that. Even in my daily life, I'm seeing that. Respect given, respect received. Give and take. However, when we deal with idolatrous people, there is no give and take in that. It is, well, you believe that and I don't care. We can't do this. They are all in on idolatry. On Jebezus, as Brother Sly says, Jebus. And it's sad, to be honest with you. There's my sympathy. It's sad because all it takes is reading and understanding what has happened, what has transpired in the transliteration from the Hebrew to the Greek to the Latin to the English. And what has happened? So Hebrew, the scriptures was a living word, meaning it was an action word. Everything was active. You had to act upon your faith. You had to have faith. Having faith is an action word. It is a verb that allows you to prove yourself based on your beliefs. But what did they do? They said, well, we have to splinter that. We have to separate that because that spirituality will create a problem for them. So what happened? They instituted, and through their imposition, religion. So when you deal with our scriptures, and this is for any and everybody, when you deal with our scriptures, you have to deal with our scriptures from a historical, a practical, and a spiritual context. Or better yet, not context, perspective. Because this was a living word. That's why he said, hey, write these books, give it to the worthy and unworthy, save the best for last. So our people are in the Old Testament, New Testament, Nag Hammadi, Apocrypha, Pseudepigrapha, Mormon book, seal portion, the grandmother's books, the Third Testament, all the way to the OASP, and so much more. Emerald tablets. We as a group are widely read based on history. And why is that? Because we could never find ourselves in his story. So we studied hard to find ourselves. And it wasn't until we were able to gain the awakening of inner over and understanding of the scriptures were we able to really come to grips with who we are within the story. And some people say, well, none of that matters. We just African. We this, that, and the third. We're just black. I like being black. I'm African. I'm this. I'm that. And all that's fine. Be whomever. The world says that you can be a woman if you're a man if you're a woman. Why worry about if I want to be righteous? Why worry about if I want to be who I'm to be? Why should that matter? Well, it matters because they know once the regathering of unification of the kingdoms collaborate and come together and gel, it's over. The matrix is busted. Once we realize that we're all the Neos, Anderson goes away. He's just another virus that has been put down. And yeah, how does that sound to the righteous? Very good. It sounds very, 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 very good. And to be caught up in semantics of his story, knowing that he, the heathen Gentiles, has manipulated everything, including the word. This is another error of our people, of people in general. Oh, the Bible's the infallible word of God. Well, how is that if it has been transliterated over and over again? How is that if it has been translated over and over again? If we want the infallible word of so-called God, then we should be reading, learning, and studying in the Hebrew. And see, they think that they think we're dumb, that we don't understand that we can't reason through logic that out. And it's funny watching them try to manipulate words still today. Still today. I don't know how many varying definitions and of an English word there is. There's multiple for like so many words. And yet the English has the full infallible word. And I'll give you, for instance, where is it? So the Geneva, the 1599 Geneva, and the King James for 2 Thessalonians 2, 8 through 10, and really let's just deal with 8, has this. It says this, and then shall that wicked man, okay, that's the Geneva, be revealed. But yet the King James says, and then shall that wicked, then, let me just read it right, because that's the Geneva. It says, where's my KJV? Pardon me. And then shall that wicked be revealed. But all the rest of them say the lawless one, denoting a single entity, as if there will not be lawless ones, as if there will not be wicked ones, plural, not singular. And this is what English and Christianity has done. They have created this story, this narrative of only one. It's only one. It's only one. Satan came and Satan did this and Satan did that, so as to say nobody else is doing any of that. There's no system. There's no overarching system. There's no overt ism. There's no thought process. There's no group synopsis of evil. There's no agendas of evil. It's only one. It's only going to be one guy that's going to come who the Lord shall consume, who Baal shall consume with the spirit of his mouth. Now, why, again, Lord, this is an English word, because if you were speaking of, let's just say it, if it was Jesus, then you would say, whom Jesus shall consume, right? If it was Yahweh, who Yahweh, and I know I'm just putting these words out there because this tells us how to read these things. See, a lot of people don't read for understanding, overstanding, understanding. They only read to regurgitate. They only read to reiterate. They're not reading for truth. And when I first started down this walk, up this, when I first started up this mountain of truth, the first thing I had to do to realize how to read these scriptures was to interject Yahweh Shai for everything. Then I started interjecting Ahia for everything. Then I started interchanging them. And once I started interchanging them, and then I got the understanding of the spirit of truth being the mother Ruach, I started reading it like that. So now when I'm reading, I might say it a one way, but in my mind, I'm reading it, I'm seeing it from those three perspectives: Yahweh Shai, Ahia, the Most High, the Prime Creator, the Ancient of Days, and Mother Ruach. That's how I'm seeing it. Whereas in the past, I would read it through white Jesus eyes, and in my mind, I'm seeing it through white Jesus' eyes. And so as I broke that spell, now I can read these scriptures in the English and see where they have changed it. And see how they have bastardized our scriptures, our word. Now, in doing so, all praises to the Father. He has given me the spirit of discernment, the spirit with the ability to recognize the truth within the bastard word. And people go, oh, you calling the Bible? Listen, the Bible in and of itself is a compilation of stolen scripts. It's not hard. No one gave them the right to create this book. Now, I may stand corrected in that. I may say because we don't know, because we don't have all the scripts, right? We don't have all they could have just easily plagiarized the book that Daniel was, the Esdras and Daniel were writing. They could have just plagiarized it. And the Council of Nicaea, I mean, they didn't even, again, history is the perfect teacher. 70 AD, 325 AD, they go to Council of Nicaea and they create this book that they call the Bible. But no one read it. They didn't read from it. They translated it in Latin. Then, I guess, what is this? So over 1,000 years later, they come to the Americas and they create their first Bible, 1599. 1599. What happened in 70 AD? They didn't have the Bible? Yeah, they had it. They had a compilation of stolen scriptures, but they didn't read from it. So then they come to the Americas, mind you, a place that no man dwelleth, nobody cares about that. But then they created this book after coming to the Americas. Not before. You would think in 70 AD, after they've stolen the sacked Jerusalem, the southern kingdom's Jerusalem, stole all the records, took all the father's treasures and his people to some degree, that they would have just wrote it. They would have, we got all the scripts. We're good. We're good now. Now we'll just create our Christian. No, they didn't do that. They waited until 1599. And then, what is that? 11 years, 10 years later? No. Yes. No. 11 years later? Is that right? My math eludes me. To 1611. And created another one. And then they just been creating these Bibles, transliterating since. And in between that time, 1599 to 1599 to 1699, so 400 years, they have a Renaissance. You don't find that peculiar? You don't find that suspicious? I mean, so all of a sudden they come to America. People go, well, everything's in Africa. All of a sudden they come to America, because they've already been in Africa, mind you. This wasn't no puzzle. All of a sudden they come to America and they start writing their book that they, mind you, took from us because none of those scripts were given to them righteously. And somehow today we're supposed to entertain Christian insanity where you can sin, cheat, rob, lie, kill, rape, maim, bomb, war, covet, be in idolatry, and everything's forgiven. Now, does that even, from a reasonable and rational perspective, does that even make sense? But yet somehow I am a problem, or rather, I have a problem with faith. Well, we do have a problem with faith in white Jesus, in European Jesus. That's where the rub is. Because based on what he has done in their story has been debaucherous, has been a destructive one. And listen, I'm just dealing in history right now. I'm not even dealing with the spirituality of it. I'm just dealing with the history of it. Because somehow what's happening today is people are trying to manipulate the history of it and keep it away from the spirituality. Because the book is telling you they're even in their small-mindedness of theft, destruction, and lies, and cheating, and stealing, I say that theft, the Father's will still had to be done. They still had to leave in who the people were. Now, they tried to transliterate it out to make everything one. Oh, it's, Paul said, and, we're going to make this New Testament. And we're going to say that's the Old Testament. Not that they're the same. Not that they're all scripts from the Hebrew text, or scrolls, rather, but that they're two separate books based on their interpretation. And then, they want to get mad, especially the Negro woman. Let me rewind that. Especially the Negro Christian woman who is mired in idolatry, willing to give her family up, her money up, her soul up to white Jesus. And inadvertently give everybody else's up at the same time. So this whole thing historically is a separation of our spirituality from our heritage, as we know. Yet, it has to be said because so many people are dead. They are dead. Fundamentally dead in their reasoning. See, if you have the spirit of truth, then you should be able to reason a matter out with anybody and anything. You would be able to recognize how to handle another, even amongst and amidst adversity. This is what the Gentiles have never been able to recognize and understand. That's why they created supremacy in the first place, when they clearly are recessive minded, recessive gene. Oh, you're just being racist. Okay, I guess. I'm the one that's being racist when I'm saying that genetically there are people dominant and there are people recessive based on their own science. And listen, it makes sense. The recessive was upset at the dominant because the dominant was dominant. We're dominant in all things under the sun. Skin, teeth, eyes, hair, beauty, handsomeness, dapperness, speed, agility, dexterity, charisma. We were dominant in genes. And for a long time, the recessive was plotting how to get over top of the dominant. And the only way that they realized to be able to overtake the dominant was to make the dominant believe that they're the recessive. Oh, your black skin is just, your big lips, you're ugly. Yeah. Look at this beauty over here. Blonde, eyes, blue, skin, pale. Look. That's the epitome of beauty. So it worked. It worked. For a time. For a time it worked. But now, the children of the book, the children of the children of the children, I do that 4 times, of the children of the book. The 4 times denotes from slavery to now, are realizing that, shoot, are you crazy? I am dominant in everything I do. In everything we do. I mean, look at the Olympics. Prime example, look at the Olympics. Okay, so we didn't have. Matter of fact, we did. I think we did have a mixed brethren swimmer. We certainly had a gymnast. Of course, we had track and field, soccer. Look at the brother from France in judo. Was it judo? Yeah, in judo. That brother looked just. I mean, you ain't gonna find no bigger specimen of Israel than that brother. And they were hating on him. The competitors were hating on him. And even the filth, the debauchery of the Olympics, because it's the debaucherous Greeks, couldn't stop Jesse Owens. Oh, well, black people are inferior. They can't. Pew! Gone. Breaking world records. I mean, everywhere. What's her name? What's her name? What's her name? The gymnast lady, young girl. That sister looked, yeah. Doing feats, jumping 11 feet in the air. Now, mind you, that's on a rubber mat, right? A little mat that has some spring to it. But that's about as high as LeBron. That's like LeBron jumping to the top of the basketball backboard. This girl is in the air. What is her name? Why am I saying Raven? Not Raven. Simone. Golly, well, it's kind of the same. Raven, Simone Biles, right? Okay. That's why I had that in my head. Okay. But look at the feats that we do. And that's why they keep us out of the economy. Well, for one, it wasn't we at the end cannot have we have to have plausible deniability in all of this, especially their economy. Okay? We can't run anything that's what has been stated. That's part of the prophecy. We can't run anything. And I used to be upset about that, but then I realized that that's because when it's all said and done, we have an out. We have plausible deniability. No, it wasn't me. I was involved. I wasn't even involved. I was in it, but not of it. See? Because that testimony of how they did the earth's resources has to be solely on them. There's your double. They've got to get double of what they, oh, well, you talking about hate. You talking about vengeance. No, I don't want the vengeance. I'm not talking about hate. It has nothing to do with me. I am just saying what is written in the bastardized language of English. Now, whether they want to acknowledge these words that they transliterated or not, it is still there. And then some people will say, you know what, God loves everybody. And listen, I agree 1,000%. The Father, the prime creator, does not want any of his children to perish. However, there has to be a purging. There has to be a cleansing. We can't just sit here and we can't just sit here and think that God is not just, that the prime creator is not just. I mean, everything has to have balance. The pendulum that swung against us has to come back, and it has to settle in balance. The weights, the just weights has to be imbalanced. That's why it's humorous to me that Christians always want to act like, no, Jesus loves everybody. And let me read this real quick, because this is a prime example. Let me see. It's a prime example. Let me find it. Where was it? Yeah. Wait, where do I have it? Where'd it go? Bear with me 1 second. Oh, here we go. This is so this is Colossians 3:5-11. Okay. Mortify therefore your members, which are, and this is sorry, let me just reiterate and start again. This is out of the Geneva Bible. Okay. So mortify therefore your members which are on the earth: fornication, uncleanliness, the inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. For the which things sake the wrath of the Most High cometh on the children of disobedience. Okay? Wherein ye also walked once when ye lived in them, talking about us. Okay? But now put ye away even all these things: wrath, anger, maliciousness, curse speaking, filthy speaking out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his works. There again, with his faith. No, with his works. And have put on the new, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. Where now this is where they get all in their feelings. where is neither Grecian nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond, free, but Christ is all and in all things. Okay, fair enough. Okay, that's all fair enough. But we have to use the proper perspective of this, and that is in order for Yahweh Shai to be in all things, and there be no Grecian or Jew or circumcision nor uncircumcision or barbarian or Scythian or bond or free, you have to. This is why it's just maddening the way that they cherry pick things. You have to first mortify, therefore, your members. Now let's go to mortify. To humiliate or shame, as by injury to one's pride or self-respect, okay? So mortify, therefore, your members which are on the earth. Fornication. So it's telling you to humble yourself and destroy fornication out of you, uncleanliness out of you, the inordinate affection out of you, evil conspicuance, evil intention, okay, out of you, and covetousness, which is idolatry, out of you. Then we can skip 6 through 10 and then say, then where is neither Grecian nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond, free, but Christ is all and in all things. Now that would make sense, because you can't be a wicked ass individual, right? And think Christ's going to just dwell in you. You can't be running in sin talking about Christ's going to forgive me. Only Christ's going to forgive me. See, this is a prime example of, hey, you know how they tried to change our word through a transliteration to make it seem like, hey, because this is the only thing they talk about. Oh, there's never a Greek nor Jew. Now, let's read it in the New Testament real quick. What the hell am I talking about? In the King James, I mean. Hold on. I'm in the New Testament. All right. Mortify, therefore, your members which are upon the earth: fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affections, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. For which things' sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience, in the which ye also walked some time, when ye lived in them. But now ye also put off these. So you have to put off the first part. Then you get to go, and you have to put off wrath, anger, maliciousness, curse speaking, filthy speaking out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his works, and have put on the new, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him. Where is neither Grecian nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond, free, but Christ is in all things. Okay? Oh, wait. Why did that happen? Hold on. Yeah, it's the same thing. All right? And this is, so they only want to deal with, look, there's neither Greek nor Jew. Christ is in all things. He loves everybody. But wait, he didn't say he loves everybody. What he said was you have to cleanse yourself. Otherwise, you are reading between the lines here. If you're trying to have Christ and salvation, well, the converse of that, if you don't, is death. So, we're here trying to strengthen ourselves, our nation, and those that cleave. We're not here trying to save the world. We're not here trying to make Christians feel good about their plight. We're not here for that. That's not where we are. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to regain our promise. That's it. And those that that say, you know what, shoot, they were trying to regain their promise, and their promise seems more righteous than this wicked ass world that we're in. So you know what we're going to do? I'm going to roll with them. I'm going to roll with them. I mean, again, that only makes sense. Because why would the world need salvation when the world has taken everything? Why would the world need a savior when the world has saved itself many times over throughout its rule? See, the world doesn't need any salvation. Salvation is the world. Salvation is the world. The people who need salvation are the oppressed. That's what King was saying. Hey, the greatest oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. So once we kick that oppressor out of our minds, which was white Jesus, everything changed. We stood in great boldness. Now, this is their dilemma. And this is very fitting for the times, since everything has transpired from the esoteric to the exoteric, from the astrology to the astronomy, from the signs in the sky to the signs that they're digging up. Okay? And I've said this, I've read this before, but this is key. And I posted this on a comment, and do you know a bunch of Gentiles didn't even know who this was? And when they found out who it was, they scoffed at him. Oh, well, he had a bunch of slaves. And my comment to that was, they all had slaves. They all had our people in derision. But he was the only one that told them, foreshadowed what was to come. They talk about Nostradamus. No, this is it. And they dismiss it. For indeed, I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, that his justice cannot sleep forever, that considering numbers, nature, and natural means only, a revolution of the wheel of fortune, an exchange of situation, is among possible events that it may become probable by supernatural interference. Okay? Now, let me read, because I ain't read this in a while, but this solidifies some things. Let me read Ezekiel, because now, all right, they trembling for their country, right? They trembling for their country. Now, why would they be trembling for their country, right? Well, the exchange of situation and supernatural interference. Now, let's talk about that exchange of situation and that supernatural interference. Here we go. Ezekiel 37. The hand of Yahushua was upon me and carried me out in the spirit of Yahushua and set me down in the midst of the valley, which was full of bones, and caused me to pass by them round about. And behold, there were many, very many in the open valley, and lo, they were very dry. And he said unto me, Son of man, can these bones live? And I answered, O Elohim, thou knowest. Again he said unto me, Prophesy upon these bones, and say unto them, O ye dry bones, hear the word of Yahushua. Thus saith the Elohim unto these bones, Behold, I will cause breath to enter into you, and ye shall live. And I will lay sinews upon you, and will bring up flesh upon you, and cover you with skin, and put breath in you, and ye shall live. And ye shall know that I am the Elohim. All right, let's pause for a second. So this was our awakening. This is an awakening that's happened. All right. So he's telling them that he's going to put his breath, his spirit in us, in those that he prophesied over. Now let's go forward. So I prophesied as I was commanded. And as I prophesied, there was a noise. That's us rumbling, going, man, I don't know what's going on, but something don't seem right. And behold, a shaking. That was us going, nah, we ain't messing with y'all. And the bones came together. That was us going, hey, each one teach one. Hey, iron sharpens iron. Hey, like-minded brethren and sisters. Bone to his bone, because we dealt with the source. And when I beheld, lo, the sinews and the flesh came up upon them, and the skin covered them above, but there was no breath in them. That was when we were, mad at the fact, right? We were upset. What do you mean? We're the people, and this what these people did to us? Okay. But we didn't have the spirit of truth in us yet. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind, prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus saith the Elohim, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain, that they may live. It might as well have said the dove right there. It might as well have said the Holy Spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. You might as well have said that. So I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath, the spirit, came into them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. This is why they tremble. Okay? They tremble because they lived. What? The Hebrews live? I thought we had them in derision and a proverb of reproach. But they live and stood up on their feet, and they standing up for righteousness, for their Elohim. What? They seem angry. They seem like an army. Then he said unto me, wait, an exceeding great army, right? So we've got to come against them. We've got to figure out, okay, so now we got to say that we're the people. We need Ish to do something. We need to start creating distractions. We need to bring Christians back into this. We need to have the pastor say something. We need to have, now we got to have the Negro woman, the Christian Negro woman say something. Now we got to have Kamala. Where's Obama? Okay. Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the what? See, and this is why when we're talking about the 400 years and we're saying the whole house thereof, Israel, is in captivity together, this is what we're talking about. This is the difference. This is why it started off with the differences, because this is why we read this. Those of us that read this and grasp this and reconcile this and reason this, understand this, overstand this, understand this. And it's not difficult and it's not hard at all. Then he said unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Behold, they say, or Yasharah, they say, our bones are dried and our hope is lost. We are cut off from our parts. That's our land, that's our heritage, our parts. Therefore prophesy and say unto them, thus saith the Elohim, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Okay? So he's going to, because we dead, we dry, we crying, we moaning, right? So he's going to open up the graves because some of the innocent went down, the Emmett Tills, Medgar Evans, those are just some high profile ones, but there's plenty of our brethren and sisters that went down. He's going to open our graves, right? And cause you to come up out of your graves. That means he's going to stand. There's your resurrection. And bring you into the land of Yasharah. And ye shall know that I am your Elohim when I have opened your graves, O my people, and O my people. Oh, my people. Oh, that's Old Testament talk. That doesn't matter. Jesus now has done away with all that. He's fulfilled that. Well, did he say he fulfilled? Did he say he fulfilled this in Ezekiel? Did he say that? Because if he said it, I haven't read it. I don't see where he said, well, you know what? I've come, I fulfilled Ezekiel, I fulfilled the dry bones, I fulfilled all the prophecy about my people, I cut them off, and now I'm putting in this New Testament. This is what I want you to do. Now the Gentiles have taken your place. And matter of fact, you can call it supersessionism or replacement theology, whichever one you want. It's okay, Gentiles. Just, I'm with you now. Did he say that? See, the church, the Christian church has imposed a religion of lies upon the people by giving them idolatry. And we know this. And ye shall know that I am the Elohim. I am your Elohim when I have opened your graves, O my people, and brought you up out of your graves, and shall put my spirit in you, spirit of truth, and ye shall live. And I shall place you in your own land. Time out. Wait a minute. Hold up. I thought we were, Africa. I thought we just African in a land. And we going back. That's our land. But see, this is denoting, right? It's denoting that we have our own land, that there is an Israel. Land of Israel. Land of Israel. Even though that is Jacob's land, you might as well say. Then shall ye know that I, your Elohim, have spoken it and performed it, saith Yahweh Shai. Okay, so and this is how you know. Their version is, then shall ye know that I, the Lord, have spoken it. Right, but then shall ye know that I, your Elohim, have spoken it, because he's talking about, the subject is, oh, my people. Right? You see how they take these conjunctions out? And performed it, saith Yahweh Shai. Okay? The word of the Elohim, the word of your Elohim came again unto me, saying, the word of our Elohim came again unto me, saying. And then they'll get mad and tell me, oh, well, you're changing. Listen, fool, this whole thing has changed. I'm trying to rearrange this joint to make it right, to make it say what it's supposed to say. That's why they put in the ye's and the thous, so that they can mass manipulate these subject verb agreements. And take Israel right out of it. Although leaving it in, taking it out. Okay? Then the word of our Elohim came again unto me, saying, moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. Right? Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. Now, he already knew that we're going to be griping. I don't even understand that, because I'm African. I'm over here in Africa. I'm a Jamaican. I'm Haitian. I'm American. I'm everything, right? Everything. But the two sticks. But Judah and the children of Israel, his companions, and Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions. Okay? So he says next, and when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by this? Like, what are you doing with these two sticks? We're dry. We got no hope. We Christians. I don't understand. Why are you trying to tell me that you got two sticks? Saith unto them, thus saith your Elohim, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. And the sticks whereon thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. Right? So he's showing them, he's giving the people, our people, what's it called? So he's showing them, he's giving them, oh my goodness, he's showing them what's happening from two sticks to one. He's putting it in his hand. This is Ezekiel doing it to his people and showing, because the people are distraught. They our people have been destroyed. They've been downtrodden. They're like, well, what do you mean by these two sticks? I'm not interested in that. I need white Jesus. And he's like, listen, you don't need white Jesus. What you need to do is understand, because he said, and when your people see this, and they say, they whine, cry, and complain about, well, I don't know what you mean by this, Ezekiel. He says, say unto them, thus saith your Elohim, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel, his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah, and make them one stick, and they shall be one in my hand. And the sticks wherein thou writest shall be in thine hand before their eyes. And say unto them, thus saith your Elohim, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, where they are, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel. And one king shall be king to them all. This is the southern and northern kingdom, the kingdom to come, and they shall be no more two nations. That king over one is Yahweh. They shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any transgressions, but I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them, so they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim. Okay, so now all this is happening right now. This is the transformation. That's why the whole world is against us. Because even though they talk about their Lord's Prayer, they don't recognize it. They don't understand it. Why? Because they are a foolish nation. They don't recognize that thy will be done, thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. They trying to get to heaven, and we trying to get our kingdom here on earth. This is the rub. This is the difference. And then some brothers and sisters would be like, well, I don't believe none of that. Okay. You ain't got to, because this ain't for you. People, sometimes online, before I go forward, sometimes online, I'll be saying something and people go, well, that's a word salad. I don't understand. I politely just say, well, it wasn't meant for you to understand. Have you thought about that? Like, this isn't even rocket science. This ain't even mathematics. This ain't even nothing. This is simple. If you don't understand, is that my problem that you don't understand, or yours? That's why Christians are mad today, because they don't understand the book that they're reading, nor the words that they spouting off. And when we give them utterance of understanding, they mad because it's not in their favor. This ain't saying nothing about Christians. And this has not happened yet. The regathering has not happened yet at this time. It's happening now. And David, my servant, shall be king over them, right? And they all shall have one shepherd, right? They shall also walk in my judgments, walk in my laws, Oh, I thought the laws, the law's done away with. Jesus said the law's done away with. I can kill, steal, and destroy at whim. Why? Because he forgives me. Oh, so why Jesus forgives you? Yes, he does. Amen, brother. Okay. Okay, we'll see how that works out for you. Okay? And observe my statutes and do them. Okay, time out. Here we go again. Oh, you just got to have faith. You just got to have faith. Well, wait. He's telling us, because he ain't telling them nothing, but he's telling us, hey, David, my servant, shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my laws and statutes, my commandments, and do them. Wait, I thought that they were done away. Oh, you know what the Christians say? They were done away with. Laws done away with. Jesus came and did. See? And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, wherein your fathers have. And it's funny. You ain't going to have no stones or no Lowrys or no Copelands or none of these people, no TD Jakes, no Creflos, no Joels, none of these people talking about this. They're not even going to do a commentary on this. One reason they can't, they're not allowed to, because it's not them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob, my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children's children forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. And so he's making another covenant with us. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them. And I will place them and multiply them and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. And, reverb, echo, 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 echo. And the heathen shall know that I, their Elohim, do sanctify Israel when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forever. And that sanctify is a precept of Jubilee 15 and 32. I'm running low on time, but let's see if I can't get that just to show you. I mean, that's why I stand resolute. I really do, because I'm like, I already know. I mean, our father is great. Our brother is great. Our mama is great. Like, now that they are back with us, does that not mean that I'm great? And nobody can take that from me. I don't have to be an ass or arrogant, running around talking about, yo, I'm the man, I'm the GOAT. No, I just got to know innately that I'm great. Because for so long, all they wanted to do was say that I was not great. All right. I'm going to start at, it's 15, but we're going to start and I said 32, which is true, but we're going to start at 28. And do thou command the children of Yisrael, and let them observe the sign of this covenant for their generations as an eternal ordinance, and they will not be rooted out of the land. For the command is ordained for a covenant, that they should observe it forever among all the children of Israel, Yisrael. For Ishmael and his sons and his brothers and Esau, Yahweh our Elohim did not cause to approach him. And he chose them not because they are the children of Abraham, because he knew them, but he chose Yisrael to be his people. And he sanctified it and gathered it from amongst all the children of men, all the heathen, just like Ezekiel said. For there are many nations and many people, and all are his. Just like I just said, he don't want none of them to be put to perish. But there's a but. There's a period. There's a comma. But or yet, right? Yet, and all are his, and over all hath he placed spirits in authority to lead them astray from him. But this is 32. But yet over Yisrael, he did not appoint any angel or spirit, for he alone is their ruler, and he will preserve them and require them at the hand of his angels and his spirits, and at the hand of his powers, in order that he may preserve them and bless them, and that they may be his and he may be theirs from henceforth forever. I mean, does that not sound the same? That's why I don't even be tripping on these people. I don't even be tripping on myself. Because I know that, Sister Pat was saying this in her show last night, there will be trouble. Because look, the days of Jacob's trouble is not over. We say now Esau's trouble, right? But it's still Jacob's trouble that's going through, like the trouble that Jacob has now transferred over to the nations. So we can call it whatever it is, it's trouble. So the trouble that is here is for them, but don't sleep. You could get in trouble too. You could seek out trouble, and trouble will find you. Or you can seek out truth, and truth will find you. And that's an interesting concept there, because if you think about it, we have been under their rule, and under their rule, we have been given 100% of lies. And in dealing with the 100% of lies given to us, we sought out truth. Okay? That's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to figure out the truth. I just want the truth. But the whole time we're being oppressed by lies. Now, with the exchange situation, now we've got 100% of the truth. Well, we got 90% of the truth. Okay? And now, because we have more of the truth, I'll say it like that. Now, we have to seek out the lie, if that's what we choose. You see? That's how we know the exchange situation is upon us. That's why we know that they trembling for their country right now. And they want to act foolish and act like, oh, well, Kamala going to do this, or, oh, well, Trump going to do this, or, oh, well, we're going to, some white dude or some Indo person is going to do this, that, and the third. What? What the hell can they do? What can they do? And this is the joke too. Well, if you don't do this, if you don't vote for Indo girl, well, WIGHT man, he's going to turn around and do some Project 58, some 25, some 32. And it's going to be tough on you. And I'm saying, what in the filth-flarn filth can they do to me that they have not already done? What they gonna bring back the guillotine? What they gonna bring back the lynching? What they gonna bring back incarceration? As if that's gone? What they gonna bring? What they gonna do? Bring back racism, hatred, diseasement? Come on, man. They can't do nothing to us anymore. Matter of fact, they've got no power to do. Matter of fact, they got no authority to do anything to us anymore. Why? Because we are his people and he is our Elohim. That's why. Now, if we choose to circumvent that and deal in their idolatry and deal in their covetousness, which is idolatry, then yeah, of course, we're subject to their error. We're subject to their fault. We're subject to their trouble. This is it's not hard. That's why we all been saying, study to show yourself approved. Deal with your shadows. Self-reflect, self-convict, self-correct. That's why we keep saying these things. Because there will come a point that we will have to make a decision. And I pray thee, nation of Yisrael, that it is a wise one that you make. And those that cleave, that it is a wise one that you make. For we have lost our lives to gain it. They've never lost their lives, and they will lose it. This is the reveling of a saint. You are revealing daily who we are just by our walk. And there is by no stretch of the imagination, none, that anybody can come sideways, straightways, backways to try to expound on any type of rhetoric that goes against the two sticks. That's it. We are in this as a nation together. We went down together, we're going up together. There will be some that fall off. There will be some that get on. This is the nature of creation. Just like a tree, beautiful leaves, they die off. They come back, they die off. Just like Yisrael, we're beautiful, some die off, but more come. And the more that come, the stronger the tree. The more the stronger the tree, the greater the root. And that's where we are today. Our roots are no longer rotten. Our roots are strengthened by our own resolve of our own spirit of truth as we walk in righteousness. And hey, history again is a wonderful teacher. Wonderful teacher. Let me do this real quick. How much time? Okay. Because I had sent myself this. Now this is piggybacking off of what Brother Judah had brought forth about Mexico. Okay. So this just popped up in my Google feed. Archaeo news, all right? Archaeology, all right? Because that's just one of the things I do. So this is a giant stone panel discovered in Mexico reveals the name of a previously unknown Maya king, or Maya kings, previously unknown Maya kings, plural. Archaeologists from Mexico, National Institute of Anthropology of History, have discovered a fascinating panel containing an extensive Maya hieroglyphic text engraved into the rock of a lagoon near the majestic pyramid structure Nahuatl, located in the emblematic archaeological zone of Koba in Quintana Roo. The discovery sheds light on the intricate and rich past of an area continuously inhabited for more than 1,300 years from 100 BC to 1200 AD. That's huge. But everything started in Africa, right? Koba is a large and important Mayan archaeological zone, located in the eastern portion of the Yucatan Peninsula. It is one of the few sites to retain its original Mayan name, Koba, Koba'a, 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 which translates to ruffled, uneven water. Its early settlement dates to the pre-classic 3500 BCE to 2500 CE, and it reached its height in economic and political power as a regional capital in the late post-classic 1600 to 1000 CE. Now, I don't get caught up in their little BID, whatever they say. It's older than that. You can assure yourself, okay? Thorough archaeological work has led to the discovery of a panel made up of 125 hieroglyphic cartouches that form an extensive L-shaped inscription. The panel is carved directly into the rock, just 160 meters from the majestic Noak Mul, and covers an impressive surface area of over 11 square meters. This inscription's size and intricacy highlight Koba's significance as a Mayan cultural and political hub in antiquity. That's ancient times. Important details have been uncovered thanks to a preliminary epigraphic analysis, such as the establishment date of Ke-Wit Nile, also known as Mountain of the Deer. The deer. It's a spiritual thing, talk to Brother Levi, which was established on May 12, 569 AD. Once again, they always got to give you the date. Furthermore, the inscription supplied crucial information to complete the Koba dynastic sequence by identifying Kawali Chakachin, a sovereign who was previously unknown. This information fills an important gap in their knowledge about the rulers of the ancient city-state. Until today, 14 rulers of Koba have been identified, including 3 women, one of whom ruled for 4 decades, suggesting a dynamic power structure and possibly more egalitarian than previously thought, right? The hieroglyphic text also reveals that many of Koba's rulers adopted the name of God Kawa or God Kawil, a practice believed to confer divine attributes as protectors of the place. The inscription previously links historical events with the mythological past. The text refers to a group of tutelarian gods who founded Koba, including Balon, Jakaba, Ajal, known as the Lord of Countless Generations, who was believed responsible for establishing the maize, and coca dynasties. The research, maize, corn, and cocoa dynasties. The researchers took additional measures to preserve the glyphic text while using state-of-the-art technology to create 3-dimensional models and a high-precision recording of the glyphic text. These models will facilitate the full deciphering of the text, thereby promoting a more thorough understanding of its meaning and context and enabling deeper epigraphic studies. But we won't ever know what it really says. As part of the advancements of the ambitious archaeological zones improvement program in sites adjacent to segment 5 of the Mayan train, Diego Prieto Hernandez, blah, blah, blah. Okay? But the point is that that they have hidden so much that now it's coming back from the earth. And when Brother Judah was talking about the map, right? The calendar, right? And how thick it was, how big it was, and how they tried to, how the Spanish Europeans tried to bury it. This pops up, and I'm like, oh my goodness! So they tried to bury this too. But now it's here because they keep digging. These are the only people. These people have been digging in the dirt, in the earth, since they came up out of it. Since they came up out of the caves. If they were ancient and they were these people and all this, that, and the third, then they would already have this information. There would be no reason for them to dig so deeply in the dirt. Okay? There'd be no reason because they would already have access to this information. There would have been no reason for them to burn anything because they would have already had access to this information. I'm doing this quickly. So, 12. Let's see something real quick. I'm not going to get to that. Let's see, where is it? Did I write it down? Aha, I did. Okay, hold on. Let's go back. Because when I was listening to Brother Judah and all of this, and this came up in my historical past and archaeological, anthropological past, it made sense. This made sense now. And this is another, and I'm not going to be able to get through this, but I'm going to just touch on it real quick. This is interesting because it says, and the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman. The woman is Yisharel, right? The whole house therein. That he may cause her to be carried away of the flood, right? It's just constantly a flood of lies, flood of water, flood of everything, okay? And the earth helped the woman. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood, okay? The lies, the information, the wisdom, the knowledge. So that the dragon, which the dragon cast out of his mouth. Because the dragon had been trying to find all this information, find the woman. But the earth saved it. The Father willed the earth to protect our antiquities, our ancient structures, our wisdom, our knowledge, our understanding. Now, again, this is historical context. We're not really, I'm not digging deep into the spiritual side. I'm just saying from the historical perspective, okay? This is what the earth did. And this is why they dig in it and they keep finding us. The deeper they dig, the more they find us. So, that was my show. That was my lesson. Next week, blog talk. Didn't want to act right tonight. Thank goodness I could do it with Sister Pat last week. We'll be doing something similar next week, and we'll have more of a discussion, and chop it up session, and then I'll get back to these type of lessons and conversations, because it's necessary. We're being attacked, but no weapon born against us shall prosper. All praises, Yisharel. All praises to our Elohim, the Ancient of Days, the Prime Creator, Yahweh Shai, our earthly mother, our Ruach HaKodesh, the dove. Big up to our nation, big up to our people. Stay in it, but not of it. All praises. Shalom.